Hello, this is your help video for quiz 1.04. First problem says point P is the midpoint of DE. So let me go ahead and draw DE. And point P is the midpoint, which means it's right in the middle, and it splits these two sides into congruent pieces. Each of those, DP has to equal PE. Alright, so then it says DP is 3x plus 2, and DE, so the whole thing, this whole distance, is 10x minus 12. And it wants to know just the length of DP. DP. Okay, so we're going to have to use the information about P being the midpoint. If P is the midpoint and DP is 3x plus 2, I know that PE also has to be 3x plus 2. Those two pieces have to be the same because P is the midpoint. All right, then I can do some algebra. I can say this little piece plus this little piece is going to equal the whole entire line. So that's how I'm going to set it up. DP plus PE equals the whole line DE. All right, so we got an equation to solve. I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms on each side. So 3x plus 3x would give me 6x's, 2 plus 2 would give me 4. Then I'm going to get my x's on the same side. I usually like to subtract the smaller one, but it doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and subtract 6 x's from each side. I'm going to get rid of the smaller one. And the opposite of positive 6 is negative, so those would cancel out. I'm going to bring the 4 straight down. 10x minus 6x is 4x, and I'm going to bring the minus 12 straight down. Now I'm trying to isolate the variable. I'm trying to get the x by itself. So now I need to get rid of the negative 12, and the opposite or the inverse of minus 12 is to add 12. That would cancel. 12 plus 4 is 16, and I'm going to bring my 4x straight down. Now I'm still trying to get that x by itself, so now I need to get rid of the 4. Right here it's 4 times x because they're pushed together. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so I would divide each side by 4, and x equals 4. But be really careful that you answer what the question is asking. This question does not say solve for x. It says what is the length of DP. So don't put 4 as your answer. You need to go back up here and substitute in 4 for DP. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 2 is 14. So DP is 14 units long. That should be your final answer. All right, this one says, what is the length of BC? All right, so this one's a little bit easier. If we know that this side is congruent to this side, those little tick marks are our congruent marks, then we know that if this one is 18, DC also has to equal 18. And then to find the length of BC, we could just add those two individual pieces together. That's that segment addition postulate. So we could add 18 plus 18 and get our final answer. Okay, I had to use some mental math there, and it actually hurt my brain a little bit. I confess. All right, here we go. What is the distance between points J and K? Enter your answer in the box. So, y'all, since we have it on a number line, we can just count. And notice each of these units is 2, right? Each of these units is 2. So we can just count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we know the distance between J and K is 12 units. Now, if you wanted to, you could take the bigger number and subtract it from the smaller number. So you could say 4 minus negative 8. And 2 negatives make a positive, so that would still equal 12. You could do it either way. All right, which two segments have the same length? So again, we're just going to be counting. All right, so let's see. EF, that's 6 units, right? From negative 16, or wait, is that 7 units? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. Okay. Oopsie poopsies. And then HI, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are not the same. All right, let me pick a different color. FG, it goes from -10 to 1. So that should be 11 units if we count it. All right, and then GH goes from 1. Oh, I'm just going to count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, those are not the same. Let's check the next one. GI. Oh man, I got a lot going on here, but it's from the red to the red. So it looks like we go from 1 to 14, so that's probably 13 units. And then FH. Ooh, FH is really long. I'm not even going to count that. I can tell that those are not going to be the same length. And then the last one, we have EF, which we already said was 7. And then GH, so let's count. Oh, we already said that one was 7. So there we go. Those are the same length. All right, T is between points P and B. PT is 15, TB is 10. What is PB? All right, I just read a bunch of gibberish. I have to draw that picture, otherwise I have no idea what's going on. All right, so we have PT, so I'm going to go ahead and label P and T, and I'm going to call that 15 units. And then I have TB, change colors here a little bit. So from T to B, and that's 10 units. And let me just make sure I read this correctly. It says T has to be between points P and B, which it is. Okay, so that's labeled correctly. And then the question here is, what is PB? So we want to know this whole length. So again, this is just the segment addition postulate. We could take 15 plus 10 and add them together to get the total length. So the total length of PB is 25 units. Hope this helps.